There we go.
Alright, you ready?
Yep, I am.
Cool. Alright guys, welcome back to Switchback Racing League. We're here at the Albert Park circuit in Melbourne, Australia for the Australian Grand Prix in Switchback Racing League. This is the SBR Tier 2 stream in Season 3, and like I said, we're here for the Australian Grand Prix. So, let's get this race underway, but before we do that, let's quickly talk about where we are. As I mentioned, we're here in Melbourne, Australia at the Albert Park circuit. Albert Park first hosted a F1 race back in 1996, and in terms of racing, the first winner of the Australian Grand Prix was KK Rosberg back in 1985. So, we're just right next to the Phillip Bay, of course, in Australia, and let's talk about this track itself. It's got 16 turns, which is a very interesting layout, of course, with that lake right in the middle as well. A very neat sort of track as well, with 3 DRS zones to help increase overtaking for around here. Of course, if these conditions in qualifying go into the Grand Prix, then we probably won't see those DRS zones being activated. But of course, if it is dry conditions out on track, we'll see a DRS zone down the pit straight into that first turn. But of course, if you can't make the overtake into the first turn, there's always the exit of turn 2 into that heavy braking zone at turn 3 to make a good overtake. So with the track details aside, let's get into the Grand Prix here in Switchback Racing League. You join us with 15 minutes remaining of the qualifying session here today in Tier 2. Right now, no one has really set a lap time. That's a good thing, of course, because we'll see these drivers, what they can do on track in these very difficult conditions out on track. So, let's talk about who's in the commentary box for today's race. It's myself, Formula Jonah, and joining me in the commentary booth once again is Pyro. Welcome back to the commentary box, my friend. How are you doing here today in Australia?
I am doing alright. It's pretty damp in Australia, but we need to see how the drivers handle this. With the track limits as well, and it's a very difficult track to overtake.
Yes, it truly is. You know, I mean, this track is very, very difficult because of the S's, you know, all that sort of thing, and how tight these corners can be. It's just a road, basically. This track is a street circuit almost, because normal cars do go on this road as well as it is in Melbourne, the city.
Yeah.
So we're in these rainy conditions out on track. The weather is spicing up a little bit, and we're getting a lot of rain out on track. Of course, it is the intermediate compound conditions out on track. But in terms of the track layout, in terms of these conditions, how hard is it for these drivers to get a clean lap around here in these difficult conditions on a difficult track?
It's obviously more difficult than in the dry, but it can be... on some tracks it can be easy to set a lap in the wet than the dry because you're going slower than before, but depending on how hard you push, as you see Stigmatic set the first lap of qualifying after, what, 5 minutes in the session. But I think we'll see a lot of invalidations, especially going through turn 1, turn 2 with the tricky just like type chicane, and you got another chicane after another. Then there's the fast chicane, which is very easy to spin out, especially on exit if you hit that curb too much.
Yeah, you're definitely right. I think there's a lot of corners for around here that are very difficult to master. You know, like you said, you can get invalidations, especially at that first chicane, turn 1 and turn 2, a few others throughout the lap as well. It is a very difficult circuit to master, but I gotta say, I truly love the circuit. It is a very complex but unique circuit in its own way. You know, it's a very interesting circuit. So, coming into this qualifying session and coming into this Grand Prix, there's a lot of stuff that we need to talk about before we get into this race. But first off, I want to say thank you to all our viewers that have joined us during the stream. Or thoughts for this upcoming SBR Grand Prix. We're currently streaming on 3 different live streams as it stands right now. We're streaming on the Switchback Racing YouTube channel. Definitely subscribe to go see more of their content on Tier 1 and Tier 2, of course. You're also streaming on the Formula Jonah YouTube channel, which is my channel as well, and the Twitch Formula Jonah channel as well. So definitely go follow those two channels as well. But I gotta ask, this championship is getting really tight. And right now, that Drivers' Championship is just going to be going down to the wire here today. Michaels could clinch the championship today in the Australian Grand Prix. So just give us all your thoughts on that upcoming championship.
Yeah, I do have some information about that. The racer in second place, Sarah, is not racing today.
Oh no!
And
right.
And Michael is just 2 points away from winning the title. Because Sarah's not racing, if he was to race today, Sarah would have to win and Michael would have to DNF or not score points to keep in that gap. Because in the last two races, 50 points is all you need to stay in the championship. But if Michael just needs to finish in 8th or more, no, just needs to finish. He's just 50 points ahead of Sarah going into the second to last race, which I think he will do as such a skillful driver as he is.
Yeah, I think you're absolutely correct. I mean, this championship with Sorrow being out of today's race, that means it most likely will go to Michaels. But I mean, we've seen crazier stuff happen in league racing, so it could go on to the next one at Saudi Arabia next time out. So it's possible we could see that going on. But I think you're absolutely correct. I think that we're right about this, that Michaels most likely will win the championship, but we can't confirm it right now. We got to wait until the end of the Grand Prix. Will Michaels finish? That's the whole point. He has to finish in the points to be able to win this championship today.
Wait, no, he doesn't.
Oh, he doesn't?
It's already over.
So he just needs to finish.
No, it's over anyway. It's over anyways. If Sarah doesn't join before the race happens and he doesn't join from the back, it's over. So at the end of this qualifying session, Michael will be crowned champion. Yeah.
Wow, even before this race gets underway, we'll get a champion.
Sorry, he's on a lap right now. I think he is a purple sector 2. It's not, so he's not faster than Leclerc right now, which is set at 33.1. Just 2 tenths above Kaizaki. But it was not a purple sector 2.
He is looking pretty fast, but I think you're right. I think he's not as fast as Leclerc as it stands in this qualifying session. So we'll see how this all works out, as Michael's the most likely the champion unless Sorrow does join in the session, and I do believe Sorrow will not be joining during the session because AMR Vantage is in that McLaren, and so I think Sorrow is out. That means Michaels will be champion. As he comes to the line now, what's his lap going to be?
33.8, putting him in 4th place. It's a good lap, but when he's wanting to get up to them top positions, he is 7 tenths off of pole, provisional pole. I don't think that's what you would have wanted.
Yeah, I think you're right. I mean, yeah, I think he's going just for wins right now. He's going for having some fun, of course. If he's won this championship, congrats to him, of course. But I think he, like you said, I think he would have liked to improve on that time and go faster. And I think he will have the opportunity to do so because, I mean, the conditions seem to be getting better. Oh, actually, never mind. I think I mistake that one. I think they might be getting worse.
I see Stigmatic has gone on to the softs in the pits, but I think that's just seeing if they're nowhere near soft, well, territory, are they? But it's still raining, and the track does not seem to be, well, lightening up whatsoever.
Yeah, I definitely have to agree. I think the conditions out on track are definitely not for softs. It's actually more leaning towards the wet tire out on track. So that's quite interesting. But if it is leaning towards the wet tires, do you think these drivers won't bother coming out again?
Not in the qualifying session. The softs will not come out. I do not think so, anyways. Because it doesn't look to be getting better. So the thing's getting worse is, actually, on the exit of Mobile Chicane, there is a bit of standing water. Which, not on the line, but it looks to be getting worse. So maybe it could go to full wets. So the people that haven't set a lap from 11th to 17th will not have a chance of getting up the positions, as Stigmatic has chosen the wet tyres, the full wets again, changing tyres in the pits.
Yeah, Stick Mike in that Alfa Romeo going onto the wets. It looks like, well, he was on the softs earlier, so maybe he's just choosing to go to those tires. But yeah, you mentioned a few drivers that have not gone out on a lap. I think right now we have a few drivers out on track. I think it's Inferno and CK. CK is actually just about to set a lap time in that Ferrari. So let's see if he's able to maybe get up into the top 6. Where do you think CK is going to go with this lap?
Ronnie, let's say 7th. 8th, or close enough. I do have some information on the weather, but do you want to keep it a surprise, or do you want to know now?
No, now. I think that's going to be
it is
what we'd like to know.
Wet in the race for the full race.
Oh.
It is a full wet weekend, but no one knows if it's going to be full wet or still inters. But that could change throughout the race as well with standing water.
Oh wow. Okay, that is very surprising. So viewers, you heard it here first from the co-commentator, of course, Pyro. Thank you so much for giving us that information. That changes a lot of things, as we're gonna get a full wet race here in Australia. So with that now, with all that information now in our heads, does that change anything from drivers' progression into the Grand Prix? Do you think they're maybe gonna have to tweak their setups a little bit, making them a little bit more wet, suited for the wet conditions out on track? You know,
I think, because I know some of the drivers will have wet setups for it, but they won't need to tweak it. It's just depending on the front wing. You can only change the front wing during the race. And also with Parc Fermé, you can't change it anymore since everyone's set a lap besides 14th, 17th. But they also gone out on the track, we just can't change it. But I don't think it's that much of a difference from full wet to inters with the setup. So at the start of qualifying, they would have put just a wet setup on for the whole weekend.
Interesting. Okay, so yeah, they
as Lucas now spins out.
Oh.
No, that's Gamer. Never mind, the wrong Mercedes.
Yeah, he just spun off there. That was a little more mistake from Gamer. That's going to compromise his lap. He's going to have to go out again.
Jack Spruce is invalidated. Michael goes P2.
Oh, very good lap time.
Still
from
fourth place behind Leo though. Leo's set a really good lap.
Yeah, Leo's been on a really good performance throughout the season. I mean, he won Imola 2 races ago, if I'm not mistaken. Did he win USA, or was that Leclerc? I can't remember.
Leclerc did win USA, as Leo now has wing damage, actually. So I'm guessing he spun out somewhere. No left end plate.
Yeah, it looks like he spun off at, I don't know where. Maybe the exit of turn 11 or something like that.
I think it was sector 1.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, you know, these conditions are very difficult on track, and that's the thing about this track, too, is that, I think we were talking about this earlier on in the stream, that a lot of people haven't raced Australia, including myself. I haven't raced Australia in a very long time. It's been like a month or so. And so I think these drivers still have to get used to the track, and that's the thing, too, is that this track is very difficult to race. It is very complex, and like I said, unique in its own way, but it is a very, very difficult circuit to master, and with these conditions coming into the Grand Prix as well, this could affect the drivers' performances on track. This could bring into more like some chaos out on track, if you know what I mean.
I think turn 1 will be chaos. So it's a tight, narrow chicane. Also in the wet condition, people are going to miss the braking points, not even being able to see their braking points, maybe in the spray, the back markers running into people. As Acer retires, do not know where, do not know how long ago was that. As Chaos retires at the turn 1, turn 2 chicane. As we were just talking about.
That could affect drivers' laps.
As Massimo is also invalidated, CK has as well. Taron is off the track, keeps it out the wall. They spun it. Wow. Where's he spun it?
Turn 2, I think.
Oh, it is turn 2 chicane as well.
Is.
He's done a Valtteri Bottas, the exact same replication of the crash, but not taking his front wing.
Thank goodness, you know, I mean, qualifying in, 2018 ruined Bottas's qualifying chances after that crash in qualifying. Thank goodness Tyrant was able to keep it out of the wall there, so
Leclerc
good thing there.
Is about to beat Michael Last time I checked, well, literally right now, he is 500ths up out of sector 2, which is
okay,
just
so he's
behind.
out there.
He could change it around in these final few corners, which he is trying to right now. Michael will go out for another lap. It's not going to be enough. But it is.
Ooh.
Didn't look like it, but the
Got
finish
him.
line came just a bit earlier than I expected. It's 500,
Yeah,
600 between them.
Leclerc got it. P2 for Red Bull. He could not beat Low Lion's time. That was still very incredible from the Ferrari driver. He still has provisional pole position as we enter the last minute of the qualifying session here in Australia. But yeah, you're right. Leclerc did beat Michaels' time and did go faster than the McLaren driver, which is very surprising to be honest. But of course, we know Leclerc's pace. He got pole last time out in USA and won the Grand Prix as well in Austin, Texas. So he's been on fire for the last couple of races. Really has been.
If you look to Jamie F1, he's trying to go for that P5, maybe P4 position. Looks so far just 100th down this time through Sector 1. As he goes to the chicane.
Well, right
Loses
now
the car.
Ooh.
It's really unfortunate. But yeah, Inferno has finished qualifying. Retired on track.
Yeah, and that's going to be, who is it? Jamie's lap time, unfortunately, done. That's going to be unfortunate, but I think he'll still be happy with P6. I think he'll be looking to get a good result in the Grand Prix as well. AMR Vantage is yet to set a lap time in the Grand Prix. Same with Yeah Gamer, who's up the road. I think they'll be looking to get a good lap time on the board in today's Australian Grand Prix. I'm also curious to see, is that is Lucas that spins off, catches AMR Vantage a little bit off guard there. Yep,
That's really
and
unfortunate.
I'm curious to see if some of these drivers might deliberately try and qualify the back of the grid. Do you think that's possible?
And that is Stigmatic also spinning out and retiring on track.
Oh no.
Massmore goes up to P8 with a 34.5, just behind, what does that say, Spatey, RX, whatever.
Good lap from
Jackie
Massimo
validated.
there. Oh, that's unfortunate, but that is the way it goes in racing. Also, Kaizaki went P2, and where can Tyrant go? He's going to come to the line now. The Aston Martin goes P8, puts it ahead of Massimore. Good lap time from the Aston Martin. Next to the line would be Jack Spruce, but he hasn't validated, as you mentioned. Lucas is also invalidated, so the next driver to finish would be... Oh no, AMR Vantage is not on a lap, so that would be his teammate. The championship leader is now going to finish as the championship winner. McLaren have grabbed the Constructors' Championship last time out as they take the Drivers' Championship as well. Michaels comes to the line. Can he snatch pole position here today? No, he stays P4.
Except that is qualifying over for everyone now. Lucas is still reversing on the track.
Oh no.
Looks like he's stuck in neutral. There he goes.
Yeah, looks like it's all good there. So Michaels officially crowned the Drivers' Championship, of Tier 2. The Drivers' Championship goes to Michaels and McLaren as well as they take the Constructors' Championship. Well done to McLaren, a very deserved World Championship. That is very, very impressive from McLaren this season. It has been a very dominant championship for them as Saro and Michaels just consistently grabbed points. And it is Michaels that beats his teammate to the championship as well by taking P1. And now it's all about just having fun as qualifying ends here in Australia.
Yeah, and I would just wait for everyone to get their pits now. Leo, both the Ferraris, Ronnie and Leo, just going back to the pits and validate lap times. But it's just Acer and Vantage not setting a lap, starting from the back on the grid on... It's actually... Will they start on... Well, I think everyone starts on fresh tyres. If it's
Yeah,
wet.
I think they will. Because they can choose whatever tire... Oh, actually, I don't know. Maybe they'll start on used tires.
I've got no clue. We'll find out. It'll say 0 laps if they didn't it, so...
Exactly. So we'll find out how that all works out.
Are you seeing what I'm seeing on the boards?
Yeah, that
Nikita
low line
Mazepin,
and
Sergio Perez, and Lance Stroll have joined the session.
Oh.
And also, looks yeah, there's a massive desync.
I think there is. Yeah, it's a little bit. I don't know what's going. Oh, there we go. Okay, we're all good.
Oh, nice.
As looks like the Ferraris did retire. I'm not
Apparently.
sure those AI will join us in the Grand Prix though.
I've got no idea. Oh god, we don't want Nikita Mazepin joining. Oh god.
Well, Low Lion's on top here in Australia. The driver that won last time out, or 2 races ago in Imola, takes P1 in the Australian Grand Prix. Will he take another win this season? We will find out. I'm stuck in the loading screen. I'm not sure if you are as well. Are you in that screen?
No, I'm just on the director right now.
Oh,
but the
okay.
AIs are not here.
Okay,
so
good.
fine.
So we won't get those AI cars in the race.
Every single update, there's always something wrong with the game.
Yeah, there is, you know, and there sometimes there's little glitches that happen, but I'm sure Codemasters will figure those out, and we'll patch those quite soon. Speaking of that update, we got to talk about that. Actually, we saw a few glimpses of it during the Grand Prix or in the qualifying session as well. A few things has been touched up, viewers. The Jeddah Street Circuit is now in the F1 game, so that completes the calendar. Now all the races that were in the F1 2021 calendar are in, except of course the ones that were added in the middle of the season, which would be Qatar and Turkey. Those are not in the actual F1 game, but all the tracks that were said to be coming are now in it. Also, the other thing that has been fixed or just changed is the Red Bull livery is now on. Is now been the Turkish Grand Prix livery, the special edition one that was white, has been taken off the car and is now returned to the normal dark blue livery that the Red Bull has. So before we get into this qualifying session, I know this is not really related to SBR, but what's your thoughts on the new Jeddah circuit?
Difficult and demanding. Because
Good words there.
Yeah, it's literally just twists and turns. There's not a heavy braking point besides the very final corner and the first turn one. There's 2 heavy braking points. Not a lot of overtaking, but once I don't think it's the overtaking that counts for the racing. I think when there's going to be good racing, they're going to be side by side through Sector 2 and Sector 3. I think that's where the good racing is going to come into play.
I agree. I definitely agree with that. I think it will be interesting to see because I mean, there's it's very close. You know, those walls are super close, so it could be very difficult to race. But I think you're right. I think we'll see some overtakes. It's going to be interesting. I can't wait to drive there.
Just it's just Vietnam and Singapore had a kid.
Yeah, you're right.
There comes Jeddah.
Singapore's got some good overtaking opportunities. I mean, you got the Raffles Boulevard, if I'm not mistaken. That's a good place to make an overtake.
Just the DRS zones in Jeddah are the way to make the overtakes. Like, I think what's crucial in the Grand Prix is the strategies that they're gonna make. Like, I have no clue what the tyre wear is. I think it's gonna be high tyre wear. I think it will be a 2-stop in a 50% race.
Interesting. Okay.
Unless a medium hard, obviously. But I think the best option might be 2-stop. Because it seems like the softs are way more powerful than the mediums because of the twists and turns. If you get one bit of understeer going into in Sector 1 and in Sector 2, if you get one bit of oversteer, the whole section is... Then you don't have the entrance to the next corner, then the exit for that corner, and keeps going, it keeps going. You have to slow down, lose a lot of lap time. It's a very demanding track.
It is. It very much is. I think it's going to be interesting to see how racing is going to be there. It's going to be, like you said, the traction and all that area is going to be a little bit difficult, you know, but we'll see how it all works out. But it's time to get the Australian Grand Prix underway here in SBR. We'll talk about the Jeddah Street Circuit when we come to next round in Saudi Arabia. But here today, we're here for the Australian Grand Prix Round 15 of the Season 3 Championship event. Michaels and McLaren clinched the Drivers' Championship and Constructors play for at the Albert Park circuit. Thank you so much, guys, for watching. Stick around, grab a snack, get ready for the Grand Prix as we're waiting for the fiber lights to go out. I'm waiting for that. Hope there's no glitches. There we go. I think we're ready to go. All right, so it is fiber and lights out, and away we go for Australia. It's lights out and away we go for the Australian Grand Prix. It's a pretty good start for the front two. Already chaos towards the back of the field. Car spinning off there. A lot of cars spinning off there. Kaizaki already up into P1 though. As he goes a little wide, that could allow Low Lion to try and make the move. I think there's a few drivers off the track there.
Carnage going for turn 1, turn 2. I see front wings flying about as Michael has been put into the wall. I didn't see by who. It could have been Ronnie. I don't think it was his team advantage, but people going slow at the back right now. But yeah, Michael has no rear wing. Has no rear wing, has no front wing. Neither does Ronnie. There was a lot of carnage in the back, even off the line. Those two cars in the back, just in the wall. As you see, Kaizaki took the lead off. Oh, he's off. He's on the grass.
Oh.
Has been Leo's taken back the lead. As Leclerc now overtakes Kaizaki. Looks like the wet is getting to them right now, going through that fast right-hander. As Jack in 5th and Mason in 6th. And Jamie making a move on Lucas. And Lucas does stick around the outside, maybe getting a few track limits there, but Inferno right behind them, and so is, I'm going to call this RX. There's a four-way battle coming here.
Totally. We have a very, very nice battle for 7th place right here. Like you mentioned, four-way battles. Jamie goes down the inside on Lucas. They're still side by side. Who's going to get ahead? It looks like the Alpine. Is Lucas going to try and send it? No, he does not.
As RX does send it on Inferno. And Inferno does keep the position very nicely there. And there's a spinner. It is...
Oh, Kaizaki and Massimore, I think, made contact.
I think they have. How? They wasn't near each other, no?
I wonder if Kaizaki spun
there
and
is a
maybe
virtual safety
Massimore.
car. As Jack has get a 5-second time penalty for contact with Tyrion. Maybe that could have been a mistake. They could be battling. The virtual safety car just came out. So Jack might report that and try and get that removed. But he's also going to serve that under the pits, so he may not get that removed. But
yeah, I think there was a few incidents there on the those 2 laps there. A little bit of chaos, you know, but it's racing, you know. Australia can be quite difficult to master. Yeah, I think there was a little incident going on there with Tyrant and Jack Spruce. You mentioned that with the Jack Spruce's penalty. He's going to have to serve that, which is going to be difficult to get hold of. But there was an incident, I do believe, with Kaizaki and Massimore there. Don't know exactly what happened.
What's going on, but Massimore and Kaizaki are battling out during the safety car. I think Kaizaki did overtake. Oh, the virtual ended. It's already ended. As Gamer gets a driver penalty, and we're back underway. Green racing.
Did not even realise. Yeah, Gamer. He's gonna have to serve that drive-through penalty now. That's gonna really affect his results.
Kai and Mason have no front wing.
Oh, massive crash for Gamer. He just spun off at turn 11 there. Gamer into the wall. Looks like he survived, so all good there, but he does have major wing damage now. As
there's a bit of confusion going over Asa and Kaizaki and Mason, as Kaizaki's now not letting Asa go. Yeah, Gamer, Kai and Mason have no front wing whatsoever. And Asa kind of got in the mix of that, hitting Kaizaki in the back, but I don't know what happened there. There's a yellow flag again in sector 3. Don't know who that is. I think it's just the front wing runners that do not have a front wing. Oh no, Chaos is retired.
Kaizaki.
That could be a safety car. It's a virtual safety car once again. I could turn into a full.
2 VSCs
don't
on
think it will.
The first 3 laps.
Yeah, it's absolute chaos over the first 3 laps. A lot of crashes, but Michael has made himself back up to P7.
That's good. You know, it doesn't look like he has any damage to his car. I don't see
he
any
repaired
damage
it.
to the McLaren.
Wait, I think he boxed.
Oh, he repaired it. Okay.
Did he box? No, he did not box.
Like it.
I swear he was in the wall.
I wonder if that was AMR advantage, because both McLarens were off the track there at turn 1, I do believe.
I need to look
I'm
back
not sure
on
though,
that.
but
I'm gonna look back.
yeah, that would be good to see. Oh my goodness, we're already having a battle going on here. Michaels and Jack Spruce. They're going side by side. They're a little bit of a corner cut for both of the drivers there, as I think they were trying to make sure that they were trying to go side by side, you know, going in there. There goes Jack Spruce down the inside on Michaels. Did that work out? No, Jack Spruce got a 3-second time penalty. That's quite surprising, to be honest.
Yeah, I still got that wrong. I mixed up the McLarens. Michaels are to the left of the track, spun out, and Vantage is in the wall.
I see. Okay, that makes sense. And Vantage is
He
down
did
at the
not get
Grand
the
Prix
damage.
as well.
Yeah. But it's a chaotic start.
It definitely is.
Jamie up to P4, Tarrant is made up 6. Tarrant's been doing really well for the past couple of races.
I know, right? He's been on fire throughout that. I mean, look at USA last time out. He was battling for that podium.
Just missed out though on that final lap penalty. Did not get it removed.
Yeah, he got that. He got that warning, didn't he?
Yep.
Yeah, that was a very intense end to the Grand Prix. But I mean, Tarrant coming back at the Australian Grand Prix, and he's in P3 right now. Could be going for another podium.
Just 3 seconds behind Leclerc and 3 seconds in front of Jamie. It's in a tiny bit of no man's land. Just taking himself slowly and also trying not to spin and DNF or even get warnings. I think that was one right there. I don't know the track limits on this game with the wet conditions, because I know in wet conditions the track limits are a bit more lenient than in the dry, what I've heard. So I don't know about that mobile chicane track limits there. But it looks to be everyone's doing the exact same as each other, so I don't know.
Yeah, I'm not really sure about that that chicane.
As Lucas
RX.
and yep, does not get a move done. But Lucas sliding all over the place now down the inside.
Oh, good move from
Does get a
RX.
move done.
That was good.
Goes back to the racing line, cutting off Lucas. Lucas in slipstream now. Do not go for that move. Right, he's backed out.
Yeah, smart decision from Lucas there. You
Doing
cannot go
off
side by
as well.
side through that corner.
Well, Jack Spruce.
Oh, sorry, what were we saying?
Desperately. I don't think that was going to end well if Lucas did go for that. He's definitely trying to keep up with Michaels. We're supposed to have an 8-second time penalty. That will he can get 5 seconds removed from the pits as he almost spins out. Doesn't look to be doing too great with the wet conditions, but it looks to be it stopped raining in sector 1.
Really?
If I see someone in sector 1, it looks to have, it's definitely dying out.
You're right.
It's not raining as much.
Dying out. I mean, it looks like there's still a lot of puddles on track, but the rain is like, I can barely see it on my screen. Like, it's just like little drops every once in a while. So, it could turn dry very quickly. Kazaki out of the race.
Is that in the pits? That's in the pits. That's okay. As I don't,
Oh.
Can you see that gamer in the pit? Okay.
What was going on with Yak? Oh, I wonder if Kaizaki retired in the pit lane and then Yak Gamer got like stuck in there or something like that.
Oh my god.
Like
He's just been shafted. He's been held up in the pits so long. I was 30 seconds behind 13th.
What was that race where, I think it was on, what race was that? I can't remember. There was one race in SBR where we saw like an Aston Martin go off there in the pit lane.
I've just figured out that Ben has given me information. Kaizaki has been forced to retire because he got stuck in the pits.
Oh!
As in, the game has made him stuck in the pits. And I guess that happened to Gamer, but Gamer got out. But Kai has been...
How?
I told you, every update comes with a glitch. I bet Kaizaki's not happy with this.
We're finding new glitches every day.
Yeah,
this is
Gamer
a new one
has
for
complained. Yeah, Gamer asked Kai to retire. Kai glitched and kept me in the pit for the next 20 seconds. This game.
Yeah, this game is few glitches out on track. Oh, is that Lucas that has spun off at turn 3, I do believe? No, that's exit turn 2. And that is at the same place where Bottas crashed in qualifying in 2018. That could bring out a virtual safety car if he's stationary on track for too long. It doesn't look like it. So that's good. But while we were talking about all that sort of thing, Low Lion is under pressure from Charles Leclerc. We're going to see a possible race battle here for the lead here.
Yeah, he is. Just under 2 seconds, which is not a long way behind, but I think it's just enough for Leo to comfortably race right now.
Agreed. Yeah, I think that's what's interesting too, is that there's no DRS, so if you get within the second, you have to close up basically to within 0.3 of a second to be able to try and overtake your rival. So that's good. So Lowline's got a pretty good gap at this stage. He's got a 2-second gap, pretty good. Tyrant is a little bit under pressure from Jamie here. Jamie's starting to close the gap in the Aston Martin.
Jamie did just get a 3-second time penalty, with RX and Michael closing in on him.
Yeah, RX has been really impressive in today's race. I've seen him, you know, he made one on Lucas, who was it? I think Lucas was it, into one of the corners or something like that. But it was a really good move for RX, and he's been on fire throughout the session so far. And he's starting to put pressure on Jamie and then Tyrant, which would be for P3 in the Grand Prix. Yellow flag, that is Massimo, I think?
Yep, is missing. Just spun it on the exit of the final corner, and it is, so far, not going to bring out anything. As Lucas comes into the pits and retires his race over.
Yeah, that is unfortunate to see, of course, because Lucas was, I think he started pretty high in the Grand Prix, but
he was
unfortunately just
before he spun.
Yeah,
Mason off the track. Another sector 1 yellow flag, which is, I think, just Mason cut in the corner with no wing.
Yeah, hopefully he'll recover on track. It looks like he has, so all good there. I think our closest battle right now is the battle for third, because we got Tyrant, Jamie, and RX pretty close together, and you can see the McLaren of Michaels just appearing in the distance there as he sets the fastest lap of the race. As the championship winner will be flying. Yeah, exactly.
Another sector 1, sector 2 yellow flag. I think that is Mason again. Yeah, okay, let's ignore that.
It is,
we'll go to this battle.
Massimore.
Ghosting is on, so it should not impede any of the drivers that come up now that are lapping him.
Okay, that's good. Yeah, of course, we want to see drivers, if they spin out or something like that, it is good that they don't, you know, get caught, they don't affect the other drivers racing out on track, so all good there. Shouldn't affect anyone, just maybe a little bit of a block in visibility just for 1 second by ghosting through them.
Just dodging the wall, losing the car, keeping it together quite nicely. Said Tyrant pulling away just a tiny bit.
He is, yeah, he's got around a second gap now to Jamie, and RX is going to start chasing after that Alpine. He's already doing that, and right behind him is Michaels. Just in the distance, you can see Michaels trying to get close.
It was just 3 seconds behind before this lap.
That's incredible. So he's catched up 1.5 seconds, basically, on RX and the rest of the field here.
Another yellow flag, I wonder who that is.
I think it must have been Massimore. He's got wing damage trying to make it back to the pits, I think.
Yeah, he spun right on the exit. Oh, and he has retired in the pits? No. Was that just out of it? Did he miss the pits?
I think it was... Is that in the pits? It doesn't look like he's in the pits. It looks like he's on the exit of... let's ride on board with CK. We'll find out exactly what was going on there.
The car will disappear, I think. Has he missed the pits and hit the wall?
Yes, he has. He's gone off. No, it looks like he was continuing on with his lap, and then he spun off at the exit at 16, which is quite surprising, but he is out of the race. Doesn't bring out any VSC or safety cars, so the race continues on as we head into the 20 laps remaining.
Flying ahead, now 3.2 in front with Leclerc, just trying to chase him, but not looking too great for Leclerc right now.
It's not. You're right. I think Low Line is starting to pull away a bit. I mean, he's 3.2 seconds now to Charles Leclerc. That's a huge gap in F1 terms. So it's looking pretty good for low line so far in this Grand Prix. He's been completely consistent and has been really dominating this race. He's been a really standout performance throughout the season, has won previous Grand Prix, has taken pole position many different times, and is now leading another one and looking to win this one as well. But who knows
Jamie
what could be happening in this. Oh!
Has hit the wall just in front of RX and has got no wing. That is from P4 to P6 now. Probably a bit more after boxing to wing. That is so unlucky.
Oh, that's super unfortunate for Jamie there. Out of really contention for that P3 as it stands in the Grand Prix. He's going to have to come back and try and fight. If maybe there's a safety car, something like that, he's going to have to pit, put on a fresh set of tires, and then maybe start chasing after that gap, maybe hope for a safety car as well.
Now RX is now down to chase Tyrant for that podium position.
Yeah, you know what? This is actually perfect for RX. You're right. I mean, he's starting to come back at Tyrant now. He's starting to close that gap, and that's the thing, is that Jamie was ahead of him, and so he was starting to try and figure out okay, how can I pass Jamie? But now that Jamie's kind of gone from that battle, RX has been unleashed to try and challenge that Aston Martin in P3 so far. So it's looking really good for RX. Same thing with Michaels as well. Michaels has got one less car to worry about to try and overtake for the podium in today's race. So it's looking pretty good for these three drivers and the rest of the field as well.
I think Mike will get the podium. His pace is unmatched to the other drivers. As much as he is skillful, he is very, very quick, and hoping, probably, will be in Tier 1 next season.
That's going to be great, you know? I mean,
championship winner.
Yeah, I mean, he's proved the pace that he's able to be in Tier 1. I mean, look at the pace he's been in Tier 2. He's been at stages miles ahead of other drivers in races. His performance out on track definitely sees him as the Tier 1 driver, you know? It's incredible to see.
As Jamie does now pit now. Replace that front wing and try make his positions back that he's lost from Caustic in third and the 7th. CK might not overtake Jamie. Do not think he will. So Jamie does come out 8th, 4 positions behind.
I think you're breaking up a little bit there. I didn't
yeah, I
really
think that was just me.
Okay. Let me know if I can do anything. Okay, cool. So what were you saying there? Sorry, I couldn't hear you.
I just said he lost 4 positions from what it was at. It wasn't not important. But now Michael is actually right behind RX and Tyrant.
Yeah, Michaels is closing that gap. I mean, he's been on fire throughout this session, just consistently closing that gap on the Williams and Aston Martin. It's like he has, he just gets
no,
3 seconds.
Commentator's curse has now just been... There we go. The 3-second time penalty of doom. But he might be able to make that gap up, you never know. That's Tyrant.
In the wall.
Did he hit the wall? Did he hit the wall?
Yeah, he went left, and I saw his car go straight into the wall. Oh, a little bit of contact with Michaels and Tyrant. Tyrant's going to head to the pit lane, and that is really difficult for Tyrant in today's race. He's going to have to try and catch back up.
I was confused. I was watching Michael. I didn't see him hit the wall, but I saw him get a 3-second time penalty for exceeding track limits.
3-second time penalty for hitting the wall? Wait, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, that doesn't make sense. He hit the wall and then rejoins on track, of course, and gets a 3-second time penalty for that. That's a little bit of a in the zone of the glitches, I'd say.
3 yellow flag. Who's that?
Alpine, one of the Alpines. I think it might be It's Inferno or Jamie. Kind of looks like Jamie since he's dropped a little bit behind It's Inferno. Can't tell exactly though.
And I caught him a bit of a mistake, but as now, well, Michael and RX, like I said before, it's one less car now to overtake. Yeah,
exactly. You know, that's it's looking pretty good for Michaels right now. It's he's basically he doesn't have to overtake 2 cars because Jamie and Tyrant were up in that battle too. Now all he has to do is overtake RX and exactly. So let's see if he can make the overtake, and that's the question now. We haven't really talked about overtakes that much. What is the best place to make an overtake for around here? For Michaels, where would be the best to make an overtake on RX?
It's depending maybe into this corner, you never know. But it's depending on the, maybe if it's close enough on the exit of this corner. Just on the straight.
Okay.
Maybe not go side by side for turn 1 and turn 2. But it's somewhere along on a straight or on a heavy braking point. Like maybe turn 3 coming up now.
So you're saying he has to be within like 0.2 of a second to make the move on RX?
Yeah, maybe he has to stay with. But if RX makes a mistake and on a straight, Michaels can, he can just overtake him. It's just
well, let's see how
RX has been
out.
quite consistent so far.
He has. I mean, Michaels, I think his biggest rival in today's race might be RX. I mean, both have had amazing consistency throughout today's race. And if Michaels wants to get P2, possibly that's an option as well. Maybe if he overtakes RX, he might be on the challenge to try and fight against Charles Leclerc, who's in P2. And Charles Leclerc is losing a little bit of time to low line. He's down 6.2 seconds, which is a big gap to low line. So Michaels could be trying to make the move on that Red Bull driver, but he has to gain a 10-second gap. And that's the question, too, when we get into strategy. Could Michaels go for an undercut strategy as well? Maybe try and jump RX in the pit lane. Could that be an option?
Yeah, maybe. I think we're going to start coming up to the pit stops now. It is halfway through the race, which is around what you want to do in the wet conditions. If you can make it this far, you can make it far again. That's what you want to do in the wet. You always want to go half a stint on one of the tyres and half a stint on the next tyres. That's what you want to aim to do. Or maybe go longer on these tyres, depending on what position you're in. Longer on the first stint, then you got fresher tyres towards the end on the second stint.
Interesting. Okay, well, let's see how this works out. Oh, that is Yak Gamer out of the race.
As I just said, the safety car. It is the commentator's curse? Or is it something?
I don't know if it's a curse. That's kind of good, to be honest.
It's helped everyone that's going to now pit under the safety car, like Michael, Jack. But also, Tyrant has already boxed. I don't know how far he is, but he's 20 seconds just... Never mind, he's 37 seconds behind Michael.
He might be able to jump Jack Spruce here, though. If Jack Spruce pits, he might be able to come out ahead of the AlphaTauri.
Let's just have a look who has boxed and who hasn't. So the top 5 have not boxed. Inferno hasn't boxed. Tyrant has. Everyone else has. So Inferno, Jack, Mike, RX, Leclerc, and Leo will now box on this lap if they want to, or they can go longer, but I do not think that's the smartest option to do. So Leo should be heading to the pits now, as he does. And everyone keeping their delta positive and not a gate driver penalty.
Very interesting. And we also have to keep an eye on the conditions out on track as well. The rain is starting to decrease a little bit, so we could see drivers pitting for the intermediates now, and then like 4 laps after the safety car comes out, then pit for the dries. That's a possibility.
I wonder if the grid, because it's that spread out, it might be out maybe for 2 or 3 laps. I wonder if someone is, because we don't know how the weather can change. They know the whole race weather. So I wonder if anyone's going to go to the softs, if it is going to go maybe dry, like softs. So maybe the safety car brings it to the drying out period, and then they don't have to box, they can go on softs. But it's all about that risk, and I don't think anyone's going to take it, because I don't think it is going to dry up. So I was given that, yeah.
I'd definitely go mediums if you're going to do that. But that's the thing too, is that because of these conditions out on track, the mediums might degrade a ton, and so that could affect the end result as well, because those mediums, like the back tires, are going to degrade so much because you're having a lot of wheel spin, because those tires are just not going to be faster than the intermediates during the safety car period. So it might be worth it just to stay on these intermediates until it's time for the dries, and then pit when everyone else does. Because if you
I don't think it's going to go dry.
They
said it was a full wet race, but I don't know. The game could just glitch again. Soccer.
Okay, so you think it's going to be wet towards the end of the Grand Prix?
I'm just going off what they've said. They said it's a full wet race, so just going off what they've said.
Okay, good to know. All right, well, we will find out how that works out. I think everyone will be looking for a good result. This has spiced things up a little bit. I'm glad that safety cars come out. The Aston Martin safety car will lead us away, and then we'll get the race underway. This has also brought in RX and Michaels into that fight for first and second. This has also brought Charles Leclerc into a second chance of fighting for this race victory now, because before it looked pretty unlikely that he was going to win this, but now he's got the opportunity to make the move on low line. But low line, all he has to do is just keep ahead. That's all he has to do. But it's going to be really,
going to come into a massive play right now. Did Jack serve his 5 seconds? As Jack is overtaking Jamie under safety car. Jack, I am literally watching you overtake him. Jack. Jack.
What's going on here?
I don't know, I've only just seen Jack overtake him under safety car. But did Jack get all those track limit penalties? Has he served his 5 seconds?
Let's take a look there. It looks like it, yeah, but I think what's happened here is that he's gotten a few more.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he's gotten three 3 seconds time penalties there. So he has a total of 9 second time penalties, which is going to affect race results. And that's another thing that we should probably mention, as you mentioned it just a little bit earlier. Penalties is going to be a huge point in this Grand Prix. If Michaels and Tyrrell maybe get up into, say, P1 and P2, then they're going to lose that because they have the 3 second time penalties. That's just an example of that. As Jack Spruce lets past Jamie.
Never mind.
Oh, what's going on up here, too? There's a few drivers overtaking. Oh, 5 second penalty for Charles Leclerc. Contact with RX. RX has overtaken Charles Leclerc and is now into second place. What is going on here? Oh, yeah, what's going on with RX now? He's...
I don't know.
2, 3 now? I don't know.
Well... Them penalties could get removed if they, because I don't think they're gonna box again. RX just hit. Oh, I think Leclerc is lagging. Yeah, Leclerc is lagging.
Definitely lagging.
So RX has he got wing damage? RX, if he reports that, gets penalty removed, I believe, because Charles Leclerc internet has absolutely ruined him.
Yeah, that's it is the internet. That's what's happening there. Unfortunate to see that, of course. It doesn't look like it's Charles Leclerc's fault either, but the internet is looks like that's a little bit dropping. Oh, as he gets a 5 second penalty for RX. What? RX is not even near him. This game is glitched, apparently. Well, Charles Leclerc's coming into the pit lane. Looks like internet issues have been resolved.
I don't understand, because Leclerc got a 5 second time penalty for nowhere near him.
Yeah, that's insanely surprising. So maybe he, when he dropped back there, maybe he went back up to P2 and we just didn't see it, and then teleported instantly before we could see it back down to P10 and got a penalty. I have no idea how that would all work out, and maybe it's just because of this update. Maybe the update kind of messed up a few things.
Yeah, Leclerc has always got internet issues besides the USA race, to be fair.
Yeah, I think there was a few internet issues, but it is the way it goes. You know, racing happens, and sometimes, of course, there's internet issues. I've had them before. It's just life. So anyway, we have just a few more laps of the Australian Grand Prix here in SBR Tier 2. We have lost AMR Vantage, Chaos Druid, Kaizaki, Lucas, Massimor, and Gamer from the session here today. But of course, retirements are gonna happen. That's just how it goes. And they'll come back next time at the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix.
Is in this lap.
Oh, okay, it is in this lap. That's good. So we'll get the racing out of the way. That's great. So, yet again, Michaels and RX have been promoted with not really overtaking anyone. They've kind of just been promoted with a few drivers making little mistakes, or like with Charles Leclerc's internet issue, you know, seems like those two have been promoted up to second place now, of course, by also making overtakes as well. But it's looking pretty good, what I'm saying is, for RX and Michaels, as they're in P2 and P3. It's possible they might be able to overtake Low Lion here.
Yep.
Where's Low Lion going to go? That's the question.
Maybe he might go up to the line. Maybe, yeah, he's going up to the line. He wants to make Spitey break and then go. There he goes. It's not the best start, but he has. Oh, wait, no. Side by side with Spitey. I didn't see that, but Spitey got the overtake by him. And Tyrant hits Michael in the back. And
massive
Spitey got penalty.
there.
And Tyrant spun.
Turn in the wall.
That's Inferno. No, that's not Inferno round. That's Charles Leclerc, Jack Spruce.
Oh, look at CK! Look at CK! What a brilliant move that was from the Ferrari driver! That was brilliant from the Ferrari. The Williams and the McLaren were side by side, and CK absolutely took the corner and just went past them. That is incredible. You got to take a look at the replay sometime, because that was very incredible from CK.
Because I know Ronnie will brag about that.
Well, I think he's going to be happy with that one. That was a good overtake. And now it's a Ferrari 1-2. Look at that. That's incredible. But a start has affected a few results in today's race. Charles Leclerc and it looks like Jack Spruce made contact. I got a good view of that. Looks like Tyrant spun off there, so they're down a few positions, but hopefully they'll recover in this Grand Prix. Michaels looking for the move on RX, and I think both Michaels and RX, while they were battling theirs, RX makes a mistake, hits, Michaels hits the back of the Williams driver, a little bit of contact between the two.
Out. Michael's going to go down the inside, no, he's going to back out just a bit, and let RX have the next couple of corners.
Ooh, that was very close to contact, between the two at that one corner, but they survived and they continued their brilliant racing out on track. It's going to be very entertaining. Let's see how this all works out for Michaels. He tries to overtake RX. Oh, and Charles Leclerc is looking for the move on It's Inferno as well. That's very late. Too late, I gotta say, from Charles Leclerc. A little too late there from the Red Bull drivers. It's Inferno goes a little bit wide. A little bit of contact between the two there.
I don't know what Leclerc is doing, but does not want to get on the wrong side of Josh. As Leclerc down the inside, Josh leaves a bit of space. Yeah, Leclerc is not going to get past Josh easily.
Definitely not. Oh, It's Inferno makes a little mistake. I think he got traction issues
the corner.
there. Oh.
Oh no!
Oh!
Oh no! They're Jack and Josh in a party together, and I know what they've said to each other. They're in a party as well, Jack and Nick. And they've just collided.
Oh, here goes Michaels on RX. Sorry to interrupt you there, but the McLaren
it's all good. It's all good.
Williams.
Oh my god!
So I think they're going to be a little bit frustrated with each other.
I can't honestly. They could be laughing, but Jack could also be shouting at Josh.
Sometimes these happen, and these things happen, and I bet they are laughing.
No, but I got that.
Well, here comes.
Back to the racing.
Back to the racing. Here we go. Yeah, Michael's back on RX. This is looking pretty good. I think they're pretty close to CK as well, who's just up the field. The two Ferraris looking pretty good. Low Lion sets the fastest lap of the Grand Prix as well. So, by the way, the conditions are looking
Michael. Oh, Michael, no, Michael. Oh, Michael. He sent it from so far back and just... Oh, Michael!
He was trying to go for the move that just wasn't there, I think. I think he just went too late. It was too much, I think he should have waited until he's right behind.
Far back. We didn't mess up.
Exactly.
Next lap, also taking out of podium position.
Yeah, that's unfortunate. That's really difficult because now RX, like you said, it's not going to be in that podium fight as it stands. CK does have 6 seconds time penalties though, so that could allow a few.
He won the You should right there. Aggressive. You just need to finish this and just...
Sorry, I didn't hear what you said. I think you were breaking up a little bit.
He's already won the championship. You don't need to be that aggressive. That was a really far back lunge.
Agreed. Yeah, I think that was a little too far back. You're exactly correct. I mean, he's won the championship. He could just take it easy, have some fun, you know, but, I mean,
not that type of fun.
I think that's a little too much.
Well, now Jamie is back into P4. Oh, he's kept it, and he's back into P4.
Jamie's got a really good shot at not just P3, but P2 in the Grand Prix. Jamie could be getting second place in this race, because here's my thoughts on that. CK has got a 6 seconds time penalty, so Jamie should get to CK, and if Michaels gets a penalty for the collision with RX, he could get P2.
Yep. I think Michael should get a penalty for that, because he just completely took him out.
Yeah,
I don't think that was acceptable, even for what, in the context of it is. Not how you overtake someone.
Exactly, and that's the thing is that, unfortunately, if you do overtake like that, it's probably going to get you a penalty, which is unfortunate, of course, but, I mean, Michaels is a very skilled driver, but it looks like he just went for a move that wasn't there, that wasn't, I guess, like, in that shot of that. I didn't really get a full camera angle of that, so viewers, sorry if I missed that, but yeah, I think it's the way it goes. It's the way it goes in racing, and I think they'll continue on.
Jamie needs to get another second and a bit to get up to CK.
You're right. Gap. Yeah, he's got to start closing that gap.
Just 8/10 or so.
Yeah, and I think Jamie's going for second place in today's race, but I think he's also he knows that he's most likely going to get P3. I don't know if he saw the incident with Michaels and RX though.
I did. Oh no, Jamie. I did. I don't know if Jamie did. As RX has retired. It's in the pits. It was in P. I guess with the penalties, maybe, but he was in P6. No.
He was P5, I think.
Yeah, he was in P5 with 11 seconds. The maximum he was going to finish P6. But he's decided to leave with 6 laps left. Well.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe he might be a little frustrated with that one, with the contact with Michaels. Maybe that's the case. I don't know.
I think Jamie is not going to get P2 from Ronnie.
I don't think so either. I think he's got to hope that that Michaels gets that penalty, you know, and then Jamie will get P3 in the Grand Prix. But it's looking likely that even if Michaels gets like a 5-second time penalty or something like that, it's looking likely that Michaels will stay in P3.
Well, Jamie still gets P2 as Ronnie and Jamie are about to go into battle.
Good point. Yeah, so
Ronnie and Michael even.
It's possible that
yellow flag.
Maybe they
Tyrant
make contact.
Has spun on the exit of a chicane.
Oh yeah, that's at turn 6, I do believe. Unfortunate to see that. That's Michaels looking for the move on CK. He was going for it possibly at the exit of turn 16, but could not make the move. He's much closer this time round, but I don't think he's going to try and send on CK.
Not enough. Michael, don't do it. Oh my god.
Oh, a little too late on the brakes there.
Just a bit of contact. I don't think it's enough. CK does
CK makes a mistake.
Nearly spin it, but he does keep it out of the wall. But does let Michael go now.
Yeah, CK will be in P3 now and looking to overtake Michael for P2 in the race. This is going to be interesting now to see if the Ferrari.
Just 2 attempts.
Oh.
To get into that 3-second period of, well, the podium position. No, now he's okay. Now he needs a whole. Where did that time go?
I'm not sure. I think
he lost an exit.
I think you're right. Yeah, I don't know. It's not looking the best, I'd say, but we continue on. We'll see how it all works out. Looks like Terrence in the pit lane And its Inferno will now grab P9 in the Grand Prix. Alpine looking for some really strong points in today's race. Ferrari also looking for some really strong points in today's races. They're sitting P1 and P3, and that could be even P2 and P1, a 1-2 for the Scuderia here in Australia. We can see how that works out. Could be very interesting.
I think if report the incident with Michael, if it doesn't get reported, it can't get investigated and can't be given a penalty. So it's all if RX does report Michael, then it will be a 1-2 for Ferrari.
Yeah, if that penalty goes to Michael, then it will be a 1-2 for Ferrari, and that will be really good for their chances of getting a good result in the Constructors' Championship as well. I guess we should probably talk about that as well. I mean, of course, McLaren have won the Constructors' Championship, and same with Michaels has won the Drivers' Championship as well. But it is there is still battles going on in the championship as well. What are you seeing in the championship?
Nothing, because I haven't got the championship up. Let me get that up quickly.
I think for constructor standings, Ferrari is sitting second as it stands, so they need some. I mean, they need some good points to finish ahead of Red Bull with Leclerc and Phoenix. Now, Phoenix hasn't been here for a while. Leclerc has, but Red Bull aren't looking for a ton of points in this Grand Prix. I mean, they're sitting P5. So if Ferrari score at least P1, P3, I mean, that's most likely going to give them the second place in the championship. So who knows what's going to be happening there.
No, I definitely think Ferrari will take second in the championship. I don't think the constructors will move around a lot. Yeah, it will not.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to move around a ton. I think that's just going to be how it goes. I don't know. We'll see how it all works out. I think Alpine and Williams are battling for that championship right now. They have 10 points between each other. So right now, ASA the boss is going to score some good points for Williams, where Alpine is going to score fourth and ninth for Alpine. So that's looking pretty good as well. Alpine most likely are going to score some more points than Williams. That's going to put them further ahead and closer to Aston Martin as well. Alpine, Aston Martin, and Williams are battling for that championship right there. Oh, that is a yellow flag. Is that Michaels? Or is that an Aston Martin?
It probably was Tarrant.
I think it was Tarrant. Yeah, I think you're right. I wonder if Tarrant was just getting away.
Some news. Oh, wait, no, man. Yeah, I think RX is going to report Michael, so do not know what happened with that. But see, in 2.5 seconds with the 3 seconds. It could be 5 seconds, might be a second. I think it will be 5 seconds. I do not know. So as of now, will not be enough for Skia to get P2.
Yeah, right now he's got to close that gap. He's got to be within, I think. Well, it depends on what penalty. Oh, well, Michaels has got the fastest lap of the race. Michaels is absolutely flying. He knows that he might get a penalty here, so he's going for P2. But if Michaels does get a penalty, what penalty would that be? Would that be a 5-second time penalty or something more or something less?
Well, I don't know, because it didn't ruin RX's race. It ruined his positioning. Went 2 positions from the contact and the collision. But I think I would say if a 5-6 time penalty with a couple penalties.
Okay, good to know. So, we'll see what the stewards say, but I think you are right. I think a 5-second penalty is most likely what's going to be handed. And let's just say Michaels does get that 5-second penalty. As it stands, he will still take P2, so it won't really affect the end results in a way. So as we approach the final few laps of the SBR Season 3 race, we've kind of got to the point where everyone's kind of spread out. We're not seeing a ton of overtakes on track. So I guess we're going to start talking about that one subject that I think, I don't know if we should talk about it now or not, but I'll throw it out there. Season 4, SBR Season 4, any plans for that? Do you know anything about that?
Yes, I do know a lot about it, but I do not know if I'm able to spill or not. So I'm gonna play safe and talk about it. So I don't know if I'm allowed to talk about it.
I think I heard a little bit what you were saying, but I think you were breaking up there, so I couldn't really tell.
I'm going to talk about it because I do not know if I'm allowed to talk about it.
Gotcha. Okay. Yeah. I had a feeling because of course we don't want to like spoil anything. You know, like I don't want to talk about too much about that, of course. But I will say one thing: Season 4 is going to be exciting. That's one thing I can say.
Yeah.
Season 4 will be very exciting.
Definitely. There's a lot of new things coming in. That's what I'm gonna say.
Yeah, exactly. I think that'll be very fun. It'll be very exciting. I think that everyone's planning for it. It'll be really cool. But yeah, it's been an amazing season in Tier 2. Just want to say, I mean, wow, it's been incredible to see these drivers go wheel to wheel throughout the entire season. 15 rounds we've had. 2 rounds after this remain. We're going to the Saudi Arabian Grand Prix, the Jeddah Street Circuit. We talked about a little bit about that at the start. I haven't driven it too much. Seems like you've driven a little bit more than me. So it looks to be very interesting as well. We talked about that a little bit. And then, of course, we have Abu Dhabi as well, another circuit in the Middle East. So we'll be going to 2 more races, and they'll both be in the Middle East.
I don't think it's Abu Dhabi.
I'm sorry, what did you say?
It's not Abu Dhabi, it's Brazil.
Oh, it's Brazil! Oh,
Yeah.
I thought it was Abu Dhabi, I'm sorry.
No.
I'm in a lot of leagues, so I sometimes forget calendars and stuff like that.
It's all good.
Yeah, oh wow. Okay, to be honest, I'm excited that it's Brazil because, I mean, of course, Abu Dhabi is a great circuit and all, but I love Brazil. I love it way more than Abu Dhabi, in my opinion.
We've always had Brazil as our
Interlagos,
final race for the game, so we'll just keep it that way.
I gotta agree that is the best,
It's a very good
final race. I'm a little disappointed that Brazil's not the final race of the season in the real F1, to be honest.
What?
Oh, I'm a little disappointed that Brazil is not like the final race or the final 2 races or something like that in the real F1 season. It's like the 4th last, because we just had it just last week.
But yesterday.
Yesterday, yeah, exactly. We just had it yesterday, the race. We are approaching the final lap of the Grand Prix, so while we're on that, what did you think about that race yesterday in Brazil?
Sorry, what? I've just seen the move that Ronnie did.
Oh, was Ronnie making a move somewhere? Or?
No, the move that went before. When
Gotcha,
the Williams and McLaren went side by side, so. The race.
Well, instead of talking about... Oh, yeah. Go ahead.
It was exciting. And it was... I'm not a Hamilton fan myself. I do like... It was an amazing drive from Hamilton. Yeah. It was a great overtakes. The more overtakes I expected from what was going to happen, a lot of battle now. Brazil is trying to overtake quite a lot.
Wait, hold on a second. I think I'm gonna interrupt you here because I think you're breaking up a little bit again.
Okay, yeah, go ahead.
Okay, what were you saying, sorry?
I was saying, I was a bit shocked with the amount of overtakes and battling that happening. I understand the battling, but the overtakes that were being done was more than I expected. Because it's not one of them tracks where you overtake at every single corner. Like, they're tight corners, and incidents can be caused quite a bit. But as off that subject, it's the final straight, and Leo is going to take the checkered flag for the Australian Grand Prix.
Incredible work from Low Lion there in the Ferrari. Incredible work by Ferrari, the team as well. They're going to grab P1 and P3. Mega result for them, but congrats to Lion. Dominant performance from the Ferrari driver as he takes the win at the Australian Grand Prix here at Albert Park. The champion, Michael, splits the two Ferraris and puts it P2 with a very, very amazing performance. And CK rounds off the podium. Great to see CK back on the podium for Ferrari. And that is a mega performance for the Ferrari team. But yeah, just to round up what you were saying about Brazil as well, I thought it was a great race as well. Surprised about the overtakes I was as well. Titanic battle from Hamilton and Verstappen there. It was great to see.
Yeah.
So it looks like that's going to be it of the SBR race. Low Lion on top with DRS Michaels in that McLaren sitting P2 and CK rounding off the podium for Ferrari. Great result by Jamie as well in that Alpine.
Oh my god.
Something you're seeing on the chat or something?
No, on the racetrack actually. Just Jack just cutting the complete hairpin trying to overtake the AI Alfa Romeo.
Well, it is the end of the race, you know. I mean,
yeah.
That's things that I guess you can do. It depends. I don't know. But driver of the day goes to CK. Would you agree with the game? I mean, I surely have to.
Yeah, definitely. CK is the driver of the day because he, well, looked the best, made the most overtakes, I think. And also the best overtake, I think.
Oh yeah, definitely. Did you see that that overtake that he did on Michaels and RX? What did you think about that?
Say that again.
What did you think about that overtake that CK made on RX and Michaels?
That's what I was on about. The best overtake.
Right.
It was very good.
Yeah. That's awesome. Yeah, he did a brilliant job with that overtake on Michaels and RX. That was really well calculated, you know.
As we had a lot of DNFs.
Yeah, we had quite a few, you know. I think that's how it goes in racing sometimes, especially around this track. It can be quite difficult to drive, especially in these very difficult conditions. I'm getting a little black screen again, so sorry guys. It will go back to normal in the next 1 second. There we go. We should be... Yeah, there we go. Okay, should be good now. So, we're now heading back to the loading screen, and that is going to be it from the SBR stream here today. An amazing race it was here in Australia. A great track, of course. Very difficult conditions, but the drivers did well to just consistently keep up the performance. And I think this race was not really about overtakes and a lot of action. I'd say it's more about just consistency. That was all about this. I mean, we've seen races in racing and motorsport past, like the 24 Hours of Le Mans. You know how that race is all about just durability, lasting 24 hours. Of course, this is a very different race to the Circuit de la Sarthe race, of course. Yeah, I think these drivers just consistently drove and got points. That was the whole point of this one, and I think they did a great job at that. Ferrari especially, mega points for them in today's race. Same with Alpine as well, and a few others got some decent points. So, great race. What's your thoughts?
I mean, yeah. You said everything perfectly there. The overtakes that were done, they were good. They were good overtakes. A lot of battling with RX, unfortunately, does not get the result he was looking for, but did do an amazing drive when he was in P4 and looking for that podium. Just really unfortunate.
Yeah, exactly. I think, yeah, it was there. I think he'll try at the next one. I think that will be they'll be good, you know. We'll see how it all works out. I mean, sometimes racing happens, you know, sometimes incidents happen. We'll see what happens with that penalty for Michaels as well. I think that will be interesting to see how that all works out. But I think that is going to be it from the SBR stream, unless you have anything else to say before we end off.
No, I think everything has been said.
Awesome. Okay. Well, gotta say, first off, thank you so much for commentating with me, Pyro. It's been a pleasure to commentate with you.
It's been great.
All right. Well, I can't wait to be commentating with you in the future, as I think we make a great duo and we have a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's really good.
Awesome. Okay, well, viewers, that's going to be it from the SBR stream here today. Hope you guys all enjoyed this one here in Switchback Racing League. This is the Tier 2 stream for Season 3, and this is the Australian Grand Prix Round 15 of the Championship event in Season 3. Until next time, guys, join us at the...
Goodbye.